Today on Public Eye News, a shooting occurs at a synagogue in Bloomfield Hills, and later the Mackinac Bridge is closed due to falling ice.
Tim Knapp will have your weather forecast for the next couple days. Later, Spencer Chenars will bring you today's sports breakdown. I'm Emily Goodacre.
And I'm Emma Maratz. You're watching Public Eye News. A shooting has occurred at a synagogue in West Bloomfield, a suburb of Detroit. The suspect was fatally shot by security after driving his vehicle into the building. Temple Israel, the nation's largest Reform synagogue, was seen with smoke coming off the roof. The man, who has not been identified yet, was known to be armed with a rifle. No students or staff were injured, however, one security official was injured. The fire in the building is under control. The shooter was confirmed to be engaged in gunfire with one other person. With the war in Iran currently underway, reports of anti-Semitism are on the rise. Investigators are searching for the motive behind this attack. And the Mackinac Bridge is closed due to falling ice. Roughly a half of an inch of ice has formed on the cables due to freezing rain in the streets and has led to the possibility of the bridge being closed. The bridge has already closed 4 separate times this year, totaling over 18 hours. Falling ice can harm and even kill occupants of vehicles. The ice can also destroy motor vehicles. The Mackinac Bridge Authority has a list of frequently asked questions that are available to view on their website. People can find out when the bridge is closed by texting MacBridge to 67283.
A celebration of wildlife science and Great Lakes is coming to the Upper Peninsula. The Friends of Seney National Wildlife are hosting their 2026 Winter Film Festival at the Pine Performance Center in Curtis. The event takes place on 3 consecutive Thursday evenings and highlights stories about wildlife and conservation in the Great Lakes region. The first night kicked off with a live presentation called Owls of Whitefish Point. The second night features the film All Too Clear, which uses underwater drone technology to explore how invasive quagga mussels are changing the ecosystem of the Great Lakes. It wraps up March 19th with the documentary Return of the Trumpeters, a story of how trumpeter swans were brought back from near extinction in the Great Lakes wetlands. And a major academic expansion is coming to Michigan Tech University. The university's College of Computing has officially announced it will officially launch a new department of data science on July 1st. The new department will join the college's existing computer science and applied computing departments and is designed to strengthen research, teaching, and collaboration in the fast-growing field of data science. Although the department itself is new, data science has already been a key part of the College of Computing since it was founded in 2019. University leaders say creating a dedicated department will help build a stronger academic community. The move places Michigan Tech among a small number of universities nationwide with a department specifically dedicated to data science. And Iran's new supreme leader released a statement this morning as Tehran intensifies attacks on cargo ships and energy infrastructures across the Middle East. Oil prices continue to rise, promoting the Trump administration to tap its strategic reserves. Natalie Brand has the latest from the White House.
Iran claimed responsibility for this fiery attack on a U.S.-owned crude oil tanker off the coast of Iraq. In Oman, fuel storage tanks were targeted as Iran steps up strikes on energy infrastructure on Gulf neighbors. Kuwait's foreign ministry called it a dangerous escalation that threatens global trade.
You've got to go through short-term pain to solve a long-term problem.
Energy Secretary Chris Wright acknowledged it's a significant disruption, but downplayed it as temporary. The Trump administration announced starting next week it will release 172 million barrels of oil from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. President Trump on social media Thursday said the U.S. is the largest oil producer in the world, so when prices go up, we make a lot of money. But he said of far greater interest and importance is stopping Iran from having nuclear weapons.
The president says the U.S. has decimated military targets in Iran, but he wouldn't say whether regime change is necessary for the U.S. to declare victory.
Most people say it's already been won. It's just a question of when. When do we stop? We don't want to let it regrow, and ideally would like to see somebody in there that knows what they're doing. In other words, they can build a country.
Iran state media released a statement attributed to its new supreme leader, Mujtaba Khamenei, who vowed to avenge the blood of the martyrs lost and continue using the closure of the Strait of Hormuz as a pressure tool. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Don't go anywhere. We'll have your weather and statewide news after this break.
Saturday night at 8 on WNMU TV.
Welcome back to Public Eye News. I'm Tim Knapp here with your weather report. Taking a look at the roof cam right now, it is super sunny, blue skies, beautiful day out, but don't get too used to it. Let's take a look at our map right now. Starting up in Houghton, it's 26 degrees and partly sunny. Over in Ironwood, it's 29 degrees and sunny. Down in Iron Mountain, it's 32 degrees and sunny. And down in Menominee, it's 34 degrees and sunny. Let's shift to the east side of the UP now, where in Escanaba, it's 33 degrees and sunny. In Manistee, it's 33 degrees and partly sunny. In Sault Ste. Marie, it's 24 degrees and sunny. And back home in Marquette, it's 28 degrees and sunny. Beautiful day in the UP. Don't get too used to it though, because much of the UP is under a winter storm warning right now, and we'll get a little more into that. Our current conditions, as I mentioned, we're sunny out right now, 28 degrees. Winds out of the northwest at 16 miles an hour with a barometric pressure of 30 inches and rising. Looking into tonight, though, is where it gets a little dicey. Snow coming in with a low of 27 degrees. Winds out of the southeast at 30 miles an hour. Our moon phase is a waning crescent. We're going to expect a lot of that snow around 4 a.m., so hazardous conditions will be in effect for tomorrow's travel. You can see it's going to be snowy tomorrow with a high of around 30 degrees, a low of 23 degrees, and our winds out of the north at 30 miles an hour. Looking into this weekend and Monday, we see Saturday we finally get a little glimpse of sun, partly sunny, high of 32, low of 17. Sunday, though, is when the snow comes back, high of 28, a low of 22, and Monday is when that snow is really heavy, a high of 18 and a low of 13. Please be careful if you're traveling in the next few days and stay alert. Back to the desk.
Thanks, Tim, for that weather update. Hopefully everyone stays safe tomorrow. Now on to statewide news. Federal judges have announced that they are not extending interim U.S. Attorney Brad Schimmel's appointment past next week. Schimmel was appointed by Pam Bondi and had a limited 120-day term. During his term, Schimmel found himself covering big cases, including the prosecution of Milwaukee County Circuit Court Judge Hannah Dugan. Democrats were opposed to Schimmel's term as Attorney General, with some going as far as to call Schimmel an actor. The court is going to wait until midterm elections to appoint a new full-time Attorney General. Schimmel had support from both President Trump and Elon Musk and had lost the election for his second term in 2018 to Democratic candidate Josh Kaul. And former University of Michigan linebacker coach Chris Partridge is suing the university, the athletic department, and the Board of Regents over his firing. The lawsuit states that his termination was wholly unjustified and without legitimate cause. Back in 2023, Partridge was fired while the NCAA investigated allegations of in-person scouting and sign stealing. The NCAA investigated that former staff member Connor Stallings had gone to events to look at opponents and record signals from other teams. In-person scouting is banned by the NCAA. At the time of Partridge's firing, he went on social media and stated that he had no knowledge of any scouting that was happening behind the scenes and was instructed by the university to not contact anyone in the program. Partridge has gone on to be a linebacker coach for the Seattle Seahawks and just recently helped the team to a Super Bowl victory in February. And as closing arguments get underway in a landmark social media addiction trial in Los Angeles, Great Britain is also putting big tech under pressure. Regulators say that platforms need to step up with tougher policies to keep children safe online. CBS News' Tina Krause reports from London.
As social media keeps kids glued to their screens, regulators say big tech can't look the other way. Britain's top watchdogs are putting companies on notice, insisting they do more to protect kids online.
The platforms absolutely have an obligation, including obligations set out in law, to understand the age of their users and to put appropriate protections in place.
Britain's Online Safety Act gives government regulators power to issue fines to platforms that don't enforce age checks and control harmful content. In the UK, the minimum age for Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, and full access to YouTube is 13. But critics say it's far too easy for children to lie about their age.
I have no confidence in these platforms. They blind you with corporate statements and they do the bare minimum.
In the U.S., kids under 13 are covered by the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. It requires websites and apps to get permission from parents before taking personal information from children. But there's no federal law requiring platforms to enforce strict age checks. Isaac Kennevan died 4 years ago when he was 13. His mother believes he was attempting a viral challenge circulating on TikTok.
When you get an algorithm that reels into a child and then a continue, fast reels, that's their target audience. It is profit over lives.
UK regulators are demanding tech firms do more to stop algorithms from harming kids or face the consequences. Tina Krause, CBS News, London.
Don't go anywhere. Spencer will have your sports breakdown right after this.
Hiding right under our noses, there are secret worlds that come to life. Now, on this rapidly changing planet, discover how people are finding new ways to live alongside nature. That could help the next generation create real change. A shared planet is a better home for all of us.
Welcome back to Public Eye News. I'm Spencer Schnartz here with your Public Eye Sports Breakdown. The Detroit Red Wings are back on the ice tonight as they head into the warmer Tampa Bay to take on the Lightning at an Atlantic Division matchup. Detroit enters the game with a record of 36-22-7, while Tampa Bay comes in at 39-20-4. This will be the third meeting between the teams this season, and Tampa Bay took the last matchup 6-3. One player to watch out for the Lightning is Jake Gensel, who continues to be a key part of Tampa Bay's offense. For Detroit, it's your captain, Dylan Larkin, who leads the team with 28 goals and 27 assists, while Alex DeBrincat has 3 goals and 4 assists over the last 10 games. Puck drops tonight in Tampa is set for 7 p.m. Eastern. Team USA is moving on to the quarterfinals for the World Baseball Classic. The United States finished pool play with a record of 3-1, and their spot in the knockout round was secured after Italy defeated Mexico 9-1. That result gave Italy the top spot in the group and pushed Team USA into the quarterfinals. Now the Americans will face Canada in Houston with a spot in the semifinals on the line. Team USA manager Mark DeRosa says the team understands the challenge ahead of the tournament. Shifts into elimination play. One player to watch out for is Pete Crow Armstrong, who is swinging a hot bat in the tournament. With 2 home runs and 4 runs batted in, and if the rivalry sounds a little familiar, it should. The United States already has the edge over Canada in hockey, and now Team USA will try to remind them who runs North America on the baseball field too. We're going to close tonight with our own Northern Michigan Wildcats. The Wildcats are heading to the NCAA Division II tournament for the 3rd straight season. Northern Michigan earned an at-large bid and enters the Midwest Regional as the number 5 seed with a record of 25-7. Northern will take on number 4 seed Wayne State Friday night with a spot on the regional semifinals on the line. The Wildcats are coming off a strong postseason run that included 74-66 win over Michigan Tech in the GLIAC quarterfinals before falling to top-seeded Grand Valley in the semifinals. Northern also entered the tournament ranked number 24 in the latest WBCA poll. So Friday night is the Wildcats and Warriors in the NCAA tournament, and Northern Michigan will look to keep the season alive and keep the Wildcats dancing. That's all I have for now. Let's throw it back to the desk.
Thanks, Spencer, for that sports breakdown.
I'm really feeling confident about baseball, aren't you?
Yes, I am. I know it's a good sign that summer's coming.
I 100% agree. And that's all the time we have at Public Eye News today. I'm Emma Moratz.
And I'm Emily Goodacre.
We'll see you tomorrow.
The preceding program was produced by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television, in studios located in Elizabeth and Edgar Hardin Hall.